disconnect.
What?
Sweet.
Our site is on
Tomorrow. Ooh, man, I look like I'm in a 70s rock band today.
That's funny.
It's true. Look at his hair. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, just Steven. I thought I owed you one other one for some reason.
Did Doug get his?
Yes. And Taylor got hers, but Shaylee hasn't got hers yet.
I asked you if you wanted to give it to Taylor. You said no.
Well, I'm going to, but Shaylee told me to at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Intro?
sure. Which episode are we on? FYI, hello YouTube, hello Twitch.
171.
Let's do this intro. Oh man, Juan is sick as fuck, and it is episode 171 of Thinking Outside the Long Box with just Juan and Gabe, because I guess I'm not recording.
What's going on here?
I don't know. You said some. Is it on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, that's the mistake I would make. Oh, I was gonna look something up.
What is going on here with your mic?
I don't know. Is it plugged in right?
Yeah.
I'm up here. Unplug. Plug it in. Plug it in.
What?
You ate all the cheese popcorn?
Not me.
You ate all the cheese popcorn?
I didn't have any.
That's a bitch.
Let me see. Can I say one?
Almost went full dad. Yeah, there it is. What
the fuck? It's reading here, but not in here.
Do you maybe have it like turned down on one side or something?
Oh, fuck. Oh, I have the wrong thing plugged in here.
Oh, you have like the.
I'm only recording on one side.
Yeah. Hang on.
There we
You
go.
figured it out. That's what matters.
All right. Now you're recording an intro.
Sorry. I want to minimize this so I don't get a bunch of dings. Alright. You ready?
I'm ready now.
Yeah. He's ready now, and it's episode 171 of Thinking Outside the Long Box with Juan and Gabe and nobody else, because we're the best. Hard stop.
Alicia's in the background.
Well, Alicia's here too. She's pretty great as well.
What are we talking about?
I
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Well, yeah, I guess we didn't decide which one we were going to do first. So we usually do not the pop culture classic
Correct.
first. We want to talk about Witcher first?
Sure.
All right. Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 170.
We were recording that.
I know. Episode 171 of Thinking Outside the Long Box. I'm Gabe.
Come on.
Today we're going to be talking about The Witcher.
Get that.
I'm only like 3 episodes into this. I finished the 3rd episode like right before I got here. It's actually why I was running a little late.
I went 3 episodes in, skipped 3 episodes, watched the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to see the finale before we recorded.
It seems about the pace that show is going. So, I've played some of Witcher 3. I enjoy the video game.
It was a game before the show.
Yes.
Was it a novel before the game?
Ooh, maybe. That's what we have computers for.
I have the Witcher show up, but I don't have the. I guess I did not look at anything else.
It looks like it.
The novel came first.
Yes, it looks like the novels came out in like the 80s.
Woo! 90s.
90s.
Yep, 92 was the earliest. Sword of Destiny.
Okay.
Which the show is based off of the Sword of Destiny and the Last Wish. So it's a preamble to the main series of The Witcher, apparently. It's kind of like the prologue.
So, I find the games enjoyable.
What are the games about?
They're action games, and you're the Witcher, and it basically tells like an overarching story, but you like hunt monsters to like tell the story.
Alright.
Right? I haven't read any of the books. I feel like I would.
Book reading.
I love reading. I feel like I would really enjoy the books. I do like a lot of fantasy stuff.
Right.
So, the show is slow.
Very.
It's very slow. The game doesn't feel that way. Like the game is very like action packed. You go, because it's a video game.
Right.
Like it has to be. So I get the feeling that maybe the show is based more on the books than on the game.
I'm sure.
Because they just kind of are plotting. Like they take a while to get where they're going.
Right.
I feel like the 8 episodes could probably be condensed into 5 or 6. Like, because even the fight scenes. So like I finished the 3rd episode where he's fighting the Styrics or something like that.
Everything has a weird fucking name in these shows.
And I think the Elven language is based in German somehow. Like when they speak Elvish, it sounds vaguely German. So
lazy.
Not everybody can be Tolkien, man. Not everybody is an English lord with infinite money and a lot of time on his hands. So, but that 3rd episode when he's fighting the creature, that he has to defeat the creature by fighting until daybreak. Like they allude to that at the beginning or during the episode.
Right.
So just do that. It doesn't need to be 15 minutes long. Like if a fight scene gets boring and you're like, wow, the fight scene's boring. Like that sucks. Like I don't hate it. It just seems like it goes on forever. Like everything seems like it goes on forever. I'm just like, fuck, just do it. Make these shows 40 minutes long, and they're better, like by a long shot. I mean, maybe I'm just a little put off because of our pop culture classic too. So, like, we'll get to that next episode. But holy crap, like that's a lot of scenery going on.
So I watched the first 2 while because I think you'd put it in the group text, the group message. Probably a week and a half ago. I think it was pretty close. I went to give you the calendars. I think you're like, have we chosen? And then I said no, and you're like,
it was just
chose.
Yeah,
so
I'm sorry, I do that.
No,
sometimes.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. But so I was like, all right, well, I got to watch a whole series of this, whatever it is. And I was finishing The Exorcist at the same time. And in the group text, I was like, man, I got through 2 episodes, but I'm way more involved in The Exorcist that came out 3 years ago than I am in this show it seems to be going somewhere, but I don't fucking know where. And Tim, I think, alluded, he didn't send his thoughts in.
I'm sure he will before.
He alluded to the fact that, there's 2 or 3 episodes of setup, which is a lot in an only 8-episode series.
And when they're straight up hour-long episodes. Not like an hour for TV, but like an HBO-style hour-long episode where it's actually like an hour and 5 minutes with credits, like these are fucking long episodes, and those first 2 episodes just go and go and go, and you're just like, fuck this.
Well, it's tough because if you're gonna devote the whole first hour to nothing but building who these people are, where they're from, and what's going on, fine, that's fine, whatever. But if you're gonna, it just you when you create such a big universe and you've limited yourself to 8 hours of television, you can't spend half of that time creating other stuff. It takes me away from wanting to stay with the show. It's just like you said, it's just so slow at that point. Then give me 22 episodes. Maybe they're fucking 40 minutes, 30 minutes long or something. I don't know. For something this big, the Lord of the Rings episodes, I'm guessing there's going to be a substantial amount of them when they finally come out. They spent a shit ton of money. It's got to be, hopefully, a good amount of episodes.
No.
Yeah. 4 17-hour episodes.
Yeah.
Fuck, if each episode is 2 hours, okay, maybe I get that. But it takes too long, I think. I think some of these, which is weird because I am not in agreement with the rest of the world, apparently. Mm-hmm. It's got a 65% for critics, but a 93% for audience. So it's a really, really highly rated show. I just don't, I don't see it. It's just weird to me. Like the last episode where the shit that I kind of know about the episode, because I skipped a couple episodes, it's cool. The battle scene was really cool, but it ends on a cliffhanger, and that just seems like more world building. It doesn't seem like a jumping off point into the next season to me. Doyle left us some stuff. He said that it took a while. It took a few, but then it finally kind of pulled itself together in the last 3 episodes. But that just seems like too long. It just seems like too much.
It's one of my complaints that I have with the way Netflix, HBO, and a lot of prestige television gets made. I do appreciate the concept of an 8-hour long movie that drops as a season of 8 single episodes. I get that. But you gotta warn people about that. That this is, if you're not dedicated to watching the 8 hours of it, don't waste your time on the first 3 hours.
Right.
Because I have a huge problem with time. I just don't have a ton of time. If I want to watch something for 8 or 9 just solid hours of enjoying a show, it's got to grab me right away.
Right.
If it's, just wait till you're in the 4th fucking hour and that's when it gets good, that means you wasted 3 hours of time. Unless it's an incredible creation. I would say maybe, no, not even close. The Wire grabbed me on the first episode, so did Deadwood. Halfway through the second episode of Watchmen, I was sold. I maybe didn't understand everything that was going on, but I was sold. This is a cool world based on something I'm familiar with.
Right.
The Witcher, I'm pretty, not crazy familiar, but I played the game enough that I have a lot of the ideas in my head, and it still didn't grab me right away.
Another good example of something that's going on right now is The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That was, from what I hear, it was supposed to be some kind of movie that they chopped up into bits. And I don't really know much about The Mandalorian people, but you get into what the story is going to be for the next however many episodes in the first episode.
Yeah.
You figure out at the very end what he's there to save and why he's trying to save it. You don't know anything else, but you know that that's probably going to be the main thing that carries you through the story. Yeah. And I don't need to know any. That's all I need to know. You can build it as I'm going, but at least I know in the first episode, oh shit, I feel like I know that this is gonna kind of carry through the whole rest of the season. Whereas The Witcher, I had no fucking idea what was gonna lead me to the end of the story.
I mean, I have ideas. I have ideas of where it's going, but there's no through line that this point A is going towards something.
Right.
It seems like there's 4 different starting points, and they're all on their own trajectory, with the exception of these 2 points that are going to eventually have to cross. But past that, there's not really so much to it that it's really heavily enjoyable. Does that sound horrible? But I don't know.
I'm not a giant Henry Cavill fan either, so that might have kind of skewed me. But all I heard,
he is a little wooden. I'm not horribly against that, like, but he does come across as like kind of wooden occasionally.
I just heard how awesome it was this whole time before I watched it, and I was just like, I just don't see it. You know, even finishing it, I just don't. It's cool. There's a lot of cool scenery. The how everything looks is really good.
Right.
Like the set pieces and where the landscape, all of that looks really good. It's the story that took me out of the story.
It is super well made. Like visually, it's a stunning show. Like there's absolutely nothing that you can deny about that. Like it is a super cool looking show.
Finishing it, I just don't. It's cool. There's a lot of cool scenery.
For some reason, it says the wrong name again.
How everything looks is really good.
Right.
Like the set pieces.
Oh, on
Twitch? Where the landscape.
On YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, so I mean, this is probably going to be a short episode because we don't have the other two guys here.
Well, we have somebody talking to us right here.
Oh, we do?
On YouTube. I just missed it because I don't have it all connected the same way.
YouTube.
But, so, things that it does make me want to do. It makes me want to read one of the books. Like, I've never read one of the books. If they're this...
Oh shit! I doiled it.
Come on,
I doiled it.
Come on, Doyle. Come on. If they're this kind of like in depth, like if they're this, deep, I think I would enjoy the books quite a bit. I just haven't.
But that's different. You know, you're going into what could be a 300-page fucking just one book full of character and story.
Exactly.
That's what books are for.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like this. If the book has the same feel as the show, the book is something that I'd be really interested in. Like, as a show, though, it's just hard. It's hard when you get that. It's hard when you have to get into something to enjoy it, and it takes forever. You know, I don't know. Like, the only thing I can equate it to is, like, I've heard, like, critically acclaimed albums, and I listen to it, like, 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, that's alright. And then I listened to it like 8 or 10 times. I was like, it's a little bit better. And then I listened to it like, 30, 40 times. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get why everybody likes this. Like, I don't do that great with TV shows that I have to like revisit it. Oh, okay, we're in our 4th hour of watching it. Oh, I get why it's good now. Like well, that's not my favorite.
Again, if you think about even the Lord of the Rings, that's if you're watching it now with all the director cuts, you're probably getting 9 hours worth of content, maybe more.
No, I think it's 12 with the full director's cuts.
It might be. I don't remember. I just watched it recently, but it took me forever. But if you're not a fan of the books, which I was, and I read them beforehand, so it helped me a little bit. You know what's going on, fucking almost instantaneously.
Yeah.
And that is a giant world. That's a world that you've got orcs and you've got elves and you've got humans and you've got fucking wars that happen and why this giant eyes fucking, you know what I mean?
Right.
You got a lot of shit going on. But that, that the ring is the thing that carries you through 3 movies. And that's...
and 4 books.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing is it just doesn't, it never caught me like that. I never found that one thing that I could stick with.
Exactly. Yeah. Because there isn't like 4 episodes into or 3 episodes into it that doesn't exist yet. The main draw of the story is that the girl is trying to find Geralt. What do we know past that? Very little. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a Witcher, which means he has cool hair and crazy eyes.
And he talks funny.
And he goes, which is funny because he's Superman.
He's tired Superman.
He is tired Superman. If they did like a Dark Knight Returns, he would play a good tired Superman. Like, I'm just sick of saving you fuckers' lives. I hate humans. I don't know. it's good. Like don't let our opinion
You should
dissuade
watch
you
it.
from watching it. Like if you're interested, it's probably worth a watch.
He's tired.
If you are a huge fan of the games, who knows? This might there's probably all sorts of subtle little things in it that come from the games that I just don't know about.
The Watchmen, when we first talked about it, I said the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I can't remember. I said I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a show that you can't watch unless you know what's going on in the world. But I kept watching it because the characters drew me in.
Right.
You know, maybe I didn't really know what was going on, but the weirdness and the characters, the mask, like that shit kept me going.
Right.
And then I understood later on what was going on. But I had something to be like, fuck, it's still entertaining. I still worth a watch. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I just didn't find it with Witcher. You know, I think most of the people probably, maybe not, but a lot of the people probably go in knowing the books or knowing the games or knowing something about it.
I don't even think so. Like listening to people talk about it at work, people love this show, and I'm still trying to figure out why. Like I know part of it's boobs, because boobs comes up all the time when people are talking about this show. And honestly, in the first 3 episodes, people are like, "Oh man, check it, yo, she's got hot tits, blah blah blah." I was like, man, there's way more boobs in a lot of other shows that I've watched.
A lot more boobs anywhere else.
I was like,
that's what you're looking for.
If that's what you're looking for, it's a lot easier to find them. Like,
that doesn't draw me into a TV show.
Porn.
Just
look at all the boobs.
Like I
saw this. Sorry, I saw this meme that somebody had written boobies on a calendar. It was like the Imperial captain from a Star Wars ship, and says, "It's an old passcode, but it still checks out, sir." It made me laugh. like most dumb things.
I don't know.
I just watched myself type, and that's really funny.
I'm not a giant fan. You should watch it if you haven't seen it. It gets rave reviews.
So I would give this
I'm missing something.
I would give this like a thumbs middle. Like it's not horrible, but it's not
a thumbs quarter.
I may finish watching it. I might not. Like
that's why I jumped right to the end.
It just depends.
I was like, I probably won't.
It depends on what we watch next. Because if we watch like another TV series, I probably won't finish watching this.
Yeah, we probably will.
But if we watch something else, like 2 movies or something, I'll probably watch both.
I don't know what's out lately.
Neither do I. I don't know anything anymore. So tired all the time.
Oh, I'm exhausted. All right, well, I think Doyle, I'm guessing he ended up giving it a thumbs up. It sounds like he really Tim was on its nuts too. I think he probably
Tim really loves it.
So he likes those kind of plotting, very slow series.
Outlander.
I feel like, I can't do it. Unless I know it really well, it's hard for me to invest.
I think Tim loves terrible television.
Alright, well, I think a lot of people agreed with us on Outlander. Not a lot of people agree with us.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. Well,
I think that's it. So be sure to check us out. You can find all of our contact information for social media at www.totlb.com. Be sure to call our hotline. That's actually the way we got Tim Doyle on the show this episode at 9. Well, Tim will call. I'll message him. Be like, Tim, call.
Don't be a bitch.
What's the phone number? It was in my head.
970-573-6148.
Yeah, that is the Michael Kirk Memorial Hotline. You know, you'll hear Doyle's voice because he called in. Feel free to call in, and then you'll hear your own voice complain about The Witcher or love The Witcher.
Or love it.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Complain about us. That's fine too.
I'll play it.
But
I'll allow it.
And of course, visit our Patreon, patreon.com/TOTLB to get all sorts of cool stuff. Check out our shop on totlb.com to get one of these fantabulous.
I don't know where I am in frame. So.
Pinup calendar, just point it right there.
So, check it out. Who am I on? February. That's Kayla and Carissa.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Complain about us.
That's
fine.
Anna. Very cool.
Yeah, super fun. We had a ton of fun doing it. And we'd love for you guys to enjoy Half Naked Ladies for your whole year like we're gonna. So they loved it. They had such a good time.
Yeah, a lot of people loved
a lot of really good feedback. So anyway, with that said, I've been Gabe.
I'm Juan.
We'll see you next episode.
Get some. Did you want me to order food, baby? Oh, that's right. Sloppy Joe's. There's a whole song about that. There is?
Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe.
That doesn't sound like a very good song.
What? It's Lunch Lady Land by Adam Sandler. It's amazing.
I don't like Adam Sandler.
Oh. What if I said...
I'm glad that he got snubbed by the Oscars. Did you want me to order?
What if I said it has Chris Farley dancing in it?
I do like Chris Farley.
Does that help?
It does.
In the SNL skit for Lunch Lady Land, Chris Farley plays the Lunch Lady.
That doesn't sound like a very good song. Yes, ma'am. Today's Tuesday? Oh, sure. I'm in for Taco Tuesday. I do like Chris Farley. Oh. It does. The hell are you doing?
Just pushing the lid back on.
That was the weirdest sound ever. We're thinking outside the long box. We can't be found.
We can't?
Not on Twitch. Oh, sure. Is that our name or is it outside?
It's outside Longbox.
Aha! There we are. Success. The broadcasters indicated this channel is intended for mature audiences. That was the weirdest sound ever. We're thinking outside the long box. We can't be. We have 107 total views so far. Not on Twitch. I like that. Is that our name or is it out? So what are we talking about next? Mohicans?
Yeah. It's gonna go great. This is amazing.
Broadcasters indicated this channel is intended for mature audiences. You ready?
Yeah, let me.
We have 107 total views. I like that.
Oh, I think that's how you spell that.
Mohicans?
It's probably not.
What?
Mohicans.
Mohicans. You ready?
Yeah, let me. Mohicans.
No second H.
Oh, okay.
Just one H.
Mohicans.
Mohicans.
Mohicans. I spelled it wrong the second time, but first time, I mean, anyway, whatever.
Intro.
Sorry. Ready?
Yeah, oh yeah.
This is episode 172, and like Daniel Day-Lewis, I am a character actor of a podcaster, which means I'm not really a podcaster, I'm just a guy really into pretending he's a podcaster. Anyway, what do you do? Oh, man.
All right. We're live.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 172 of Thinking Outside the Long Box. Was that the right character actor of a podcaster? Which means I'm Gabe. And we're joined by no one.
Nobody.
Nothing.
And I don't think oh yeah, Doyle did leave a message for this one too.
You got the fat Mexicans confused there for a second.
Did I?
Yeah. You said
All
Gabe
right.
Doyle called in.
Gabe Doyle.
Gabe Doyle.
That's the human centipede combination.
Dibs on front. Oh man.
Oh, that's gross.
Super gross. Not as gross as this movie. Last of the Mohicans. What a gore fest. Just action-packed, non-stop eyeball slaughter. Oh wait,
I mean, there was a lot of slaughter, but you didn't really see anything.
that's because this movie is boring as fuck.
You had to pretend like the tomahawk went through him.
Oh dang, that looked like it would have been violent in another movie. So, of course, we're going to be talking about our pop culture classic, chosen by Jason, who, of course, is the smart one. So he always picks, like, films as opposed to, like, bubblegum crap. And so, this episode, we're going to be talking about 1992. Is that right?
Yes.
1992's Last of the Mohicans, starring Daniel Day-Lewis, who is a white person pretending to be an Indian.
Yeah, so me and Alicia watched this movie together.
Sorry, Alicia.
And so I thought maybe he wasn't an Indian, he wasn't native, but he was just a part of the tribe.
Correct. That is.
So he's not, I don't think he's pretending to be an Indian.
Well, I mean, even in the movie, he's a white dude pretending to be an Indian. Right, because he was.
No, but I mean,
he was adopted.
Right.
Because his family was killed.
Right.
And he's like, and like she said, he's supposed to be a half-breed.
Right.
So.
But I don't. When you say pretending, that kind of has undertones
it's just me being
to
an
it.
asshole.
So, but she did ask the same thing, and I was like, I don't think he's a Native American, and they just chose a white dude to portray a Native American.
That is.
I think he just is a part of the tribe.
The story is that he's half.
Yeah.
And that because that they talk about that in the movie when he's having when he's sitting with that lady looking at stars and shit.
When you say pretending
But when they have fuck, man, this movie was dope. But when they have that conversation, he talks about how like his mother was an Indian, his dad was white, and they were killed, and he was taken in by the tribe to
we had an appropriation talk, and I was like, I don't think that's what they're doing.
No.
Before it started.
So in I don't know much about the book. And a part of me wonders if in the book he's just an Indian. You know what I'm saying? And in the movie, they're like, well, we really want Oscar award-winning actor Daniel Day-Lewis to play him. So we better come up with a reason why we're not saying, hey, pretend like the white guy's native. I mean, but I don't know. Like I said,
I had no idea what war this was until we looked it up as well.
It's the French and Indian War.
I had no fucking idea.
So that stuff I knew because I remember reading this this book in like middle school. Boring book. But I knew a lot of.
This fucking movie cost $40 million to make.
It's because it's all outside.
Jesus Christ.
They had to port that stuff all over the fucking place. So, this particular kind of novel was very popular, like back in like the 1800s and stuff, where they're like telling like historical stories but about fictional characters. And then as we moved into like the 50s, that kind of adventure novel, so like Treasure Island, Robinson Crusoe, Last of the Mohicans, the Three Musketeers, they became like super popular boys novels. And so this was one of the books when I was in middle school that my grandpa's like, if you want to learn what it's like to be a man, you need to read this book, you know? And it's all about hunting and fishing and going out into the woods and just surviving, and also standing up to oppression and standing up for your family and like all these kind of things. So it has like these big overarching like American idealist ideals, which are awesome and don't fucking translate to a movie well at all. Like, because it's just talking and talking and talking, and then it's in the hands of Michael Mann, who as a director is way okay with just letting people talk for fucking 3 hours straight, you know. And it becomes so burdened with we're trying to look important and be important and look how cinematic this movie is, to the point where you're just like, shut the fuck up, like fight something, do anything. Like
What does it say about your dad?
That was my
Oh,
granddad.
your granddad.
Yeah.
That instead of just taking you out into the forest and like teaching you things, he was like, "Ah, oh, fuck that! You couldn't learn to do this by reading this book."
I learned to do everything by reading a book. Just so you know, that's
you know how to start a fire. Come on,
yeah.
Come on, let's be real.
Yeah. That's what we got lighters for. What if you're stuck in the wood without a lighter? Why? Bad on
Survivor.
You. Bad on you, dumbass.
$1 million.
Oh man, so
I thought this movie was awful. And Jason, I'm sorry. I was 5 years old when this came out. I fucking have never seen this movie until just the other day. And it's just too, it's too much. It's too slow. You don't really know who's the good and the bad guy. There's 3 different tribes of people that you're dealing with, and it's just you know what I mean? Like it's just, I mean, at the end of the day, he ends up being, I guess, the good guy, but it's just a weird, slow fucking movie. It reminded me a lot of Dancing with Wolves, but I don't know if he's just so much of a better actor or the narration helped or I don't fucking know. But that movie, hand over fist, is 100 times better than what I was watching here. It's very similar shit. You know what I mean? It's not the same war. It's not the same circumstance.
But stuff happens. Like that's the difference. In I think a major flaw of Last of the Mohicans is the story it's trying to tell is actually very, very small. They're trying to get these girls from point A to point B. And then past that, there's not really much else that's happening other than how unsafe they are, the 2 tribes that are warring with each other, like this concept that like of the Mohicans, there's only these 2, pure blood natives left, so they're the last of their tribe. But in general, the story is how do we get these ladies from point A to point B without them getting killed? And then when they get to point B, it's just like, okay, they're safe-ish. Now what do we do? And it just the finish of the movie is just kind of like it's like the climax happens 40 minutes before the end of the movie, where they get the women to the fort, but then like the English betray them, and this happens, and this happens. It just goes, and okay, I guess we're gonna keep going with this, even though nothing really has happened past the main thrust of the movie. I can appreciate like the acting in it. It is well acted.
Right.
Like they seem believable. Like that British dude seems like a boring ass British dude. Like
hey Brits.
Like the Indians, their emotion, their passion behind what's going on, and like the actual war that they're perpetuating, with each other through the French and the British, like makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Like that kind of stuff. Knowing the history behind the time probably helps some, but not a whole ton, other than needing to know that it happens before the Revolutionary War.
Right.
So there's not really Americans, there's like British frontiersmen and like the French.
Well, that's what confused me at first. I was like, it's not. There's Brits there. Like, what the fuck? Like, we're not too far into it that it's not like the Civil War or something like that. But I had no idea. We had to look it up.
Yeah, it's
it was just curious.
Yeah,
that's more curiosity than really needing to be told. For me.
But I mean, it kind of helps to know when it is and kind of what's going on. That separate tribes have taken sides in a war against each other with the help of the British and the French. Like, they don't really care who wins, the British or the French. What they care about is who wins, this tribe versus that tribe. Kind of thing. So, I don't know, there's some interesting dynamics in there. Like, Daniel Day-Lewis plays a guy that seems like he's pretending he's pretending to be an Indian, and that's frustrating because Daniel Day-Lewis can be a really, really good actor, but sometimes he overdoes it and makes it too much, where he's just like, man, dude, calm the fuck down.
He's a method actor.
I know. Method acting works like 80% of the time. I feel like this is in the.
I think you have to be the special kind of person to do that.
He nails it sometimes. Like in The Name of the Father, amazing movie. Gangs of New York, Bill the Butcher's the only thing that's good about that movie. What else?
He's in some kind of Lincoln movie too, isn't he?
Oh yeah, Lincoln,
Yeah.
where he plays Lincoln.
Yeah.
And you forget, like I forgot Daniel Day-Lewis was in it because I was like, yeah, that movie with Abe Lincoln in it.
That's weird.
Yeah. Man, I thought that dude got shot. He looks good.
I don't know why Jason chose it. I'm guessing he's got some kind of big.
So, I think part of it, like being, I know Jason's a bit older than me, but I remember when this movie came out, it was a huge deal. Like people really, really wanted to see it. I saw this movie in the theater with my dad. I remember not enjoying it at the time, but I was super excited to see it. Because the trailers made it look like it was going to be like action-packed, fucking natives versus the world, like tomahawk throwing, musket firing, non-stop craziness. But obviously it wasn't. But I think this won like tons of awards and stuff like that. I know.
I'm just saying, $40 million. You could spend some of that money on blood. You know, maybe a fucking wound here or there.
You could spend literally tens of dollars.
It won an Academy Award for Best Sound, an American Film Institute recognition, AFI's 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains. Hawkeye was the nominated hero.
Who's wow? So it didn't win a
It
ton
didn't
of
really
awards.
win anything. $40 million.
See, Roger Ebert gave the film 3 stars and called it quite an improvement on Cooper's all but unreadable book, and a worthy successor to the Randolph Scott version, which is an older movie, which I've also seen. Going on to say that The Last of the Mohicans is not an authentic and uncompromised as it claims to be. More of a matinee fantasy than it wants to. More of a matinee fantasy than it wants to admit. But it is probably more entertaining as a result. It's just slow. Like it's slow. It's not horrible, but it's not. It's The Witcher. It's The Witcher in a movie.
95% critical review, 88%.
Again, people fucking love this movie. Like
207,350 people went to Rotten Tomatoes to say that they 88% fucking liked this movie.
Huh.
That's insane for a movie that came out in 1992.
So, things that I do love about this movie, it makes me want to go out into the woods and just like do some fishing or like wander around. Like it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like there's no two ways
It's a
around.
pretty
Like the movie itself, like if it this movie would be just fine if it was just them walking around in the woods and they didn't have to have a plot and it was 45 minutes long. Like I would just be like, oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah, what a cool forest.
This made me want to watch Dancing with the Wolves.
Yeah, I can see that. Like I can 100% get behind that. I just like I had a hard time staying awake, but I did
I knew
manage
it.
to
You
thwart
said it. I was like, prediction. Gabe falls asleep.
I managed to stave off sleep, but there were moments where I was like, ooh, like stay awake, fuckface.
It made $35.5 million. So above its budget. Whatever the, I don't have any idea what the advertising budget was, but above the budget it was it took to create.
Right. So it made money.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was popular. People were really, really excited about it. I managed to, just like they were about Rob Roy, which was also a massive letdown. Oh no.
I don't know, brother.
Period pieces
This
don't.
shit is fucking awful.
Period pieces, I'm not the hugest fan of. That is for sure.
I'm out on this movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jason. I should
Most
start
of the-
asking. I should start asking him and Doyle why they choose the movies they choose,
Yeah.
so that I could actually, so we could say it.
Maybe reach out to him and we can add it in.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying.
Be like, Jason.
I think we're up.
Jason says,
By the way,
I got a suggestion.
What did we watch last time?
I don't remember.
I'm sorry, Jason. I'll be able to tell you
It was,
if we're up or
it
not.
was Doyle's
I should
suggestion.
start
Wasn't it?
asking him and Doyle. It might not have been.
No, we watched Life. We watched
Pop
Life.
culture classic.
Yeah, we watched Life, and then we watched this.
So then it's Doyle's
So it's
turn.
Doyle's turn. For our turn, I have a suggestion.
Oh shit! What do you want to watch?
I want to watch Whip It because my kid wants to watch Whip
I
It.
don't know what that is.
It's a movie about roller derby, but
Gross.
it's got Drew Barrymore.
You know it's not good. You know
I've
it's
seen it.
not
I
good.
like it.
You like it because your kids like
There's a lot of movies like
it.
that. I rewatched Wonder Park last night. I definitely wouldn't watch that if Hannah didn't want me to watch that. For our turn, I have a suggestion.
Gross.
Whatever. Are you talking about your boogers? Or...
I don't know if Doyle's gonna answer it, but I just asked him what he wanted to watch. But yeah, I give this movie a thumbs down.
I give this movie like a thumbs quarter.
And I know Jason's gonna be like, "What? What the fuck's wrong with you?" In
I
his very kind voice, because he's never. I've never seen him very.
I don't think I've ever heard him say what the fuck is wrong with you. I think he'd be like, you're wrong.
You're an idiot.
Go back to watching Life.
I love
I
that.
know, me too. That movie was great. I'm super glad we watched it.
Yeah, thumbs down.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with thumbs quarter. Visually, I love this movie. Like I could watch this in the background. Like if I just put it on in the background while I was doing chores and wasn't paying attention to the movie, it would be perfect for that. You know, just like every once in a while there's an action scene. Most of the time it's just beautiful scenery on the TV.
It's like
that's fun.
It's
That's
like
fun.
in Back to the Future 2, bro. When he just has a channel for landscapes
Oh, I have that on my
on the
TV.
screen.
That's the thing. I have there's a channel on Pluto that's just trains driving through pretty landscapes.
That's the weirdest fucking thing
Yeah,
ever.
it's awesome. Just put it on. It's just a train in Denmark, train in Scotland, train in
I want to
Germany.
be on that trip.
I do too, but when I'm going to bed, it's nice to just put on here.
Oh, buddy. I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning, just wide awake.
Yeah,
Didn't go to sleep until like after 5.
that's when
So tired.
That's when you watch Train Travels Through Germany, bud. Or
I was
Last
watching
of the Mohicans.
I was watching gardening tips.
Gardening tips. That's
And
good
we have
too.
all of our seeds ready to everything that's out. We're gonna plant again. Everything that's in the bag, we decided not to.
Oh, right.
And then I'm gonna order some. I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my salsa, but
It's all in my freezer still. It will happen, I swear.
yeah, we'll see.
Takes me a while.
All right, moving on. This movie was awful.
With that said, be sure to check us out. You can find all of our social medias at www.totlb.com, where you can also find our shop where you can pick up our pinup calendar, which has got half-naked ladies in it, which are
We have,
way more exciting than Last of the Mohicans.
What's his name? Patrick never said anything about the glasses that he got, so you should reach out to see if make sure. That he
Oh,
got 'em. Langle.
Michael Langle, yeah.
Oh, what did I say, Patrick?
That's his middle name, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll ask
The
him.
spy. Reach out to the spy.
I
Make sure
will.
everything was good.
I'll talk to the spy. He
but
didn't even remember that we were calling it that.
I remember a lot of stupid nonsense.
Oh, man.
But there's glassware on there. I haven't put them up there, which is my fault, but I still have the what do they call them? You put your cups on? Coasters. Still have a box of coasters that we can put up for sale. That they'll probably be less than $10 if I remember right.
Nice.
There's some other things aside from the calendar. So it's just totlb.com/shop. There's stickers up there. There's a shirt that is being created that I think you like the logo too. So I mean, there's other stuff. So check it out.
Nice. Yeah, good stuff on there. And of course, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/totlb, where by supporting the show, you can get free stuff. So
Hats, glassware, shot
Shirts,
glasses,
all sorts of
shirts,
stuff. Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. You could be a producer. You could pick a pop culture
You
classic.
could make us watch something super fucking
Yeah,
boring.
not Mohicans. I'm glad we got that off the.
This is the last movie about Mohicans. So.
Oh, it's not. Jason's like, oh really? I usually love all of his
Me
picks
too.
too. It's usually Doyle that we're like, fuck Fuck you, Doyle.
Oh man, here comes Battlefield Earth. I can sense it.
You know what's funny is I was much younger when I watched that movie and I liked it when I was because I was way young.
Yeah.
Who knows? I probably won't like
You're all
it again.
stuff blows up.
I probably won't like it
It's
on the revisit.
It's brutal. It's a brutal watch, bro. Oh man.
All right, well we're gonna go talk about Star Wars.
Oh man, I'm actually pretty excited for that.
Me too.
But we'll talk to you guys next episode. Until then, I've been Gabe.
I'm on.
Peace, bitches.
I haven't heard from Colorado Springs yet. Their new thing is maybe 48 hours. All right, well, we're gonna go talk about
Maybe 48 hours.
yeah.
How very
The
vague.
turnaround is like 48 hours, except for over the weekends or some shit. Me too. Which is good. It's better than waiting until fucking October or July. But New York happens, I think, in October. I think, and I think Reno happens in November.
Okay.
So there's
Maybe 48 hours.
time for this. Turnaround is like 48 hours, except for over the weekends or some shit. Which is good. It's better than waiting until fucking. Oh shit, Cara Zarell liked my post in New York Colorado Springs or the comic book enthusiast page.
Who did?
About nuclear power. Cara Zarell.
Hmm.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's Supergirl, but she's a friend of Keats. Cara Zarell sent a lead into Honda one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hung's like, well, how do you say this? And I was like, oh, that's fake, bro. I mean, it might be real, but that would be the craziest of coincidences. I mean, I know it's Supergirl, but she's a friend.
Oh, that's fake, bro.
Yeah. By the way, fuck you. Cara Zarell sent a
Oh, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why fuck me? Fuck you. Oh, there's something wrong with fun.
That would be the craziest of coincidences.
Yeah, it is. He pisses me off. That's okay.
Not me anymore.
That's fake, bro. He doesn't really piss me off that much either. I just don't interact with him as much as possible. Oh, by the way. Oh man.
You ready?
Yeah.
Intro now. Not me anymore.
Wait, no, that's copyright infringement. And this is episode 173 of Thinking Outside the Long Box with Juan and Gabe and nobody else, because fuck those guys.
Is it really copyright infringement? I don't think so.
Not if I do it with my mouth, I don't think. You do it with your mouth. Tell me that whole thing is in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Copyright infringement. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 173 of Thinking Outside the Long Box. I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And today we are going to talk about Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker,
Yay.
aka episode 9.
Is that you, bro?
I don't know.
I feel like you just keep buzzing and buzzing and buzzing over there.
I do have my phone set to vibrate. Tell me that whole thing.
I'm actually really excited for this. I just don't sound like
Yeah, because you're sick. I am very excited about this too.
I enjoyed the movie. 53% critical response.
Fuck half the critics.
86% audience score.
Thank
so
you.
it did really well.
Thank you, audience, for not being a bunch of naysaying pieces of shit.
That's 91,000.
Because this fucking movie was rad as fuck, and it was an awesome way to end the series. Period.
Well, you can find us at TV.
No, seriously, like, so about 2 weeks ago, we were scrolling through Disney Plus, I went to the Star Wars side, and Hannah just straight up told me, and obviously it's her own prerogative. She can have any opinion she wants, even if it's wrong. She says, "Dad, I don't really like Star Wars." And a little part of me broke inside, but I understand because like the fare that Star Wars has provided for like my children's generation isn't always like the best shit, right? You know, episodes 1 through 3 and like,
Which is weird because they sold a shit metric ton of figurines and plush dolls
nerds.
to kids. To kids, because that's what that was aimed at. It wasn't aimed at you.
But
It
that's
was
who
cool
bought
Star
it.
Wars, you know, but it was aimed at kids. And I'm guessing they made a lot of money.
They probably did, but I mean, my kids aren't the hugest fans of Star Wars because they grew up with it, but not the same way that we did, right? As we were watching this movie, Bailey and I were crying, okay, because there were just scenes in it that were just like super emotionally moving. Because Bailey's a huge Star Wars fan too. But as we're laying there watching the movie, Hannah goes,
And I'm guessing they made a lot of
Star Wars is pretty good. And I was like, thank you. Like, yeah. And she's like, why do you like it so much, Dad? And it occurred to me, because I've been watching it for like 35 years. Like, I've been watching these movies since I was like 8 years old. And it's fucking a great way to end that overarching series. Like, it just was a good movie. And it was so much fun. And there were moments where I was like, I know the hyper nerds in this moment are like, well, that's just stupid and that's not the way it is. But it's like I have a hard time doing this. I have a hard time just stepping back and being a kid about something, just enjoying it because it's fun. And this is one of those rare movies that I was able to just throw away the criticism and throw away like the hyperbole and just be like, man, I had so much fucking fun watching that movie. And the way it wrapped up the series made me happy. So I am amongst the 88% in a weird turn of events. I agree with the masses. Like, I loved it. I had so much fun watching it.
I really liked it as well. Like, it's predictable in a fun way to me. Like, I don't care. If I know what the movie's gonna be like, the first 10 minutes of the
Unless
movie,
it's a mystery movie, because that fucks mystery movies up really bad.
I'm with you. But as long as I enjoy it, the rest of the movie, I'm fine with predictability. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. When I watch a wrestling match, I'm fine knowing who's gonna win, as long as it entertains me. That's all I care about. You know, knowing that you know, at the end of the day, the Emperor is not going to win because this is the last of this saga. I don't care. That's fine. How the fuck? What happened to him? How do we get to that point? That's what I care about. And I liked it. I don't know a thing about that. I'm the hyperest nerd that I can't watch something new about it.
Right.
Like, it's just not who I am. You know, I don't. It's weird when you said what you said about how long you've been watching it. For some reason, Tremors came into my mind because they're putting out the shittiest CGI graphic movies fucking ever. You know what I mean? But I love them.
Right.
I love that series. It's just something that I've watched for my whole life. You know,
Yeah.
I don't care. Put it out. You know, put fucking $10 into that movie, and I'll watch that movie.
Is there like a new Netflix one coming out?
There is another one.
I think it's coming out on Netflix.
Another movie. I think that it did.
And I think they're all on Netflix.
I think once the comedian whose name I can't remember joined, they've been on Netflix.
Nice.
I think after that, the Kevin Bacon was supposed to get his come back, and they were supposed to do a series, and the trailer looked fucking amazing, and it never happened.
Huh.
They dropped it instead of
Kevin Bacon was like, ooh, this is 7 degrees of soup.
It looked amazing. He said he was super excited to come back.
Right.
But it just never, they dropped it. But
It's because they only had like 2 wheelbarrows full of money.
right.
Oh, that's gonna take 5 wheelbarrows.
But this is something that I don't care. It entertained me. I knew where the big spots were coming. I knew what was going to happen for the most part. Obviously, not everything.
Right.
But that's what I love sometimes about what's his name, J.J. Abrams. Sometimes he does a ton of fan service, which is fine. Why is that bad? Like I don't get that. I've never understood
it's
that.
literally servicing the thing. Like he's giving you exactly what you want, and then people complain about it.
But this is something that I
Fuck off, dude. Just enjoy a movie. And I know I'm the worst about that. I am absolutely the worst about that. But when it comes to like the new J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies, I love them. And the new Star Wars movies, I love them. And I get it. The first one is just a remake of Episode 4. So what? It's great.
Brought me back in.
Exactly. It washed Episode 1 out of my mouth.
But see, even Episode 1 had its, Darth. I've said it 100 times on the show. Darth Maul is probably the coolest villain that should have gone on to prosper more.
Yeah.
So much so that they brought him back in Han Solo.
Right. And will probably come back in other shows.
Hopefully. They did him a disservice, but there were things in each movie that, like I said, maybe they're not the best, but I still enjoyed them.
People hate Ewoks.
That's weird.
I'm just saying, there's people that just fucking absolutely hate the Ewoks because they were developed to make a toy to sell to little kids, and they're the Jar Jar Binks of like that era.
I hate Jar Jar Binks. Like I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't. He was a stupid little thing that kind of served a purpose somehow. But
for me, he's in the movie too much. Like he's a gag that just you're like ha ha ha.
He's more entertaining than the Mohican. I'll give you that much,
dude. Well, the one Mohican's pretty cool. And he doesn't say Misa. Oh, but the scenery in Star Wars is way cooler.
I feel like reboots and remakes or sequels have created a sector of people who are just fucking awful. They literally made that guy want to kill himself. Because they were so mean. I'm like, I don't get it. If you don't like it, just don't watch it.
Yeah.
Why do you have to deride somebody and be fucking awful to them? So, somebody put a meme up earlier, and I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was on Twitter. Something about how I remember a time on the internet where we could be civil to each other. And I was like, you do? I don't fucking remember that. Like, we do have differing opinions, and we could be civil to each other because we know
friends.
each other.
Yeah.
But I don't remember a time where everything was happy-go-lucky on the internet. That shit doesn't exist.
That's imagination.
Like,
I've been on the internet since the internet started, and we've been fucking bitching at each other the entire time. Like, clearly you weren't on an old, like, bulletin board server where no, you're wrong in episode 4 here, you fucking idiot.
And some of those things, like some of that stuff I'm okay with. Because it's you dive down the rabbit hole of, like myths and mythos and world building. You know what I mean?
Especially with Star Wars and like the massive, or like we were talking about in the Witcher episode with Tolkien, or like the Star Wars with Star Trek. Star Wars had a ton of canon novels. I mean, tons and tons of them. And like people were so into it, and what's crazy cool and like a cool way for them to approach it is that now they think of them not as canon but as the Star Wars mythology. And so like what we read and believe is what somebody in the Star Wars universe would read and believe as well, but as a mythology, not necessarily as truth. Like maybe those stories aren't 100% accurate, but sometimes you see Emperor Palpatine like fucking force lightning spaceships out of the sky. You're like, maybe the mythology is true. It's like a cool way to like create more world with stuff that's already there that you don't necessarily want to use 100%.
I mean,
obviously,
obviously we're okay with people not liking it. Like that's not what we're doing.
Not okay.
I mean, I'm okay with it. You know, obviously people are gonna not like everything. It's
Not
just,
this one. Not this one.
What I hate is the toxic attitude that comes with it.
Mhm.
Like, how dare you tell? It's with anything that we always talk about. How dare you sit on your high horse and you tell somebody that they shouldn't have created something that they wanted to create? I mean,
Right.
fuck you. You know, if you want to do it, go do it. You know, see if somebody will give you millions of dollars to go create the perfect thing that you think you want.
Because they won't. Because
They
you're a
won't.
jackass.
Like, it's just, there's no reason to be mean to people who step into a role that they love. It's
And
just
they
so
were paid,
stupid to me.
that they were paid to do. Maybe they did fail at it, but at least they gave it a shot. It's better than your trolling ass did. It's better than my trolling ass
Yeah.
did.
I'm okay if you don't like this show. I'm fine with that. You know, but if you're gonna fill my feed every day, maybe a week I'll deal with it. You know, but then afterward, I'm gonna block you. Like, there's no reason for you to keep trolling me or somebody or just being
If you
a
hate
dick
it, move
for
on.
no reason.
Yeah. You hate something, move on. It's easy as that.
I started a new job.
But at least they gave it a shot. There you go. Same as the old job, just in a different building.
I'm okay if you don't like this show. Not a giant, tall fucking idiot. No, but if you're gonna
I don't have red hair. I'm also not tall.
He's not a giant.
He's a dwarf giant.
Yeah.
I'm a dwarf giant.
Yeah.
And Devin's a dwarf
Bringing
dwarf.
it.
Oh,
No, I loved it.
Me too.
I had
Holy
zero
shit.
problem with Palpatine coming back. I had zero problem
I
with
dug
Rey
that.
using the Skywalker name at the end and being who she was. I thought it added intrigue to the story, that she's fighting something kind of dark and deep inside of herself.
Right.
To be a
I
Jedi.
loved that. I loved that storyline. And like, what was cool is, so when her and Kylo are fighting over the transport, and she hits it with
In the
force.
waterfall?
No, in the desert. Remember when she thinks she kills Chewie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So when she shoots the force lightning, I immediately looked at Bailey. I was like, oh shit, you know what that means, right? And Bailey goes, yeah, force lightning is a Sith only power. I was like, right? What if Kylo's the good guy and she's the bad guy? And like, immediately we were just so excited because it's like these subtle nods, and like you said, it's fan service. Like, if you're a passive Star Wars fan, you're just like, oh, that's fucked up. She accidentally lasered that thing out of the sky. But if you're like a turbo Star Wars nerd, you're like, oh, that's us. Like, and it's a lot of fun. Like, it made me happy. Like, the whole movie just made me happy. And people that don't like it, like, I get it. If you don't want to, that's cool. Like, feel free to complain. I don't really care that much. But wow, so weird that you would not like this thing that literally plays into something that we've loved so well. Like, I don't know, it's awesome.
I was like you had mentioned, you guys were crying kind of throughout the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Jack.
No. Leia kind of disappearing.
Yeah,
was really sad.
dying as a Jedi. Yeah.
Kylo Ren fucking coming back and redeeming himself and then dying was like, what? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Also dying as a Jedi though, which I thought was really, really cool. And like when he sees his dad, I'm all,
hey buddy, it's cool because he wasn't like a force ghost.
No,
he was just a
ghost.
Yeah.
It's in. He says, "I'm just, I'm in your mind.
Right.
I'm not here." Like,
no.
because he's not a Jedi.
Right.
He's fucking Han Solo.
Even though I would give him I would knight him as a Jedi. He's an honorary Jedi. Nah. He just didn't have a fucking sword.
He shoots people.
That's fine.
He doesn't believe in all that.
Do you, by definition, if a stormtrooper shoots at you and you deflect it with your lightsaber and it shoots the Jedi, I think you're shooting the Jedi or the stormtrooper. He's an honorary Jedi. He just didn't.
You're
have
right.
a fucking sword.
I'm just saying, like, he shoots people because like they owe him money and stuff. Not because they shot at him.
No,
I mean,
Greedo shot first.
Ooh, we are going to have to fight. Like, Han Solo himself has gone on the record to say
Han
he
Solo
doesn't care.
or okay, all right.
He thinks we shouldn't fucking care either.
I just don't think Han Solo is the type of guy that shoots first.
He is.
He might.
He He's in a special kind of scum and villainy. That's
So
all
what?
I'm saying.
What does that mean?
He's a bad guy.
He's a looter. That's all.
He's a scam.
He's a thief.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
No.
Han
He
Solo
doesn't care.
or it's all the shit in the air, probably. I like it. So it's something I can smell. I haven't been able to smell for a while.
Smells good.
But yeah, I mean, I like that. That part was really cool. I really enjoyed it. When she buries the lightsabers on Tatooine,
Yeah.
and then she has hers kind of looks like rugged and kind of it's like yellow. Yeah, it looks cool. It almost lent to like, oh shit, she's kind of maybe she'll still be in the future films, but they've come out and said that they're gonna focus more on side characters.
Right.
Who knows? But
Man, I hope they make a Lando movie because they definitely implied that they were gonna make a Lando movie right there. Another solo movie would be great.
yeah, Mandalorian's coming this year. I think that's the only. Star is that the only Disney property coming out this year?
I don't think so.
Maybe she'll still be in the future films. But what other shows are coming out this year? Come out and said that they're going to focus more on. You don't know? No, you're out.
Man, I hope they make a Lando.
I don't think there's any other Disney properties coming out
We're
this
gonna
year.
make a Lando movie right there.
Besides Mando.
Another solo movie would be great.
Yeah. Mandalorian's coming this year.
Oh,
I think
man,
that's the
it's
only
hard to look things up
Is that the only
about Disney and Star
Because
Wars.
Morbius technically is not Disney.
No,
That's a Sony property.
Yeah.
In conjunction with Marvel, but it's not really Disney. I don't think there's any other Disney. I don't think there's another Disney property coming out this year. A movie, but maybe a show.
Maybe.
Mulan is coming out this year. That's true.
Indiana Jones 5.
No, that's not coming out, is it?
It says, like, this is the things that are.
Technically is
When I
not.
googled Disney's releases for 2020.
No, that's a Sony.
I have not heard nothing about a new Indiana Jones movie. I think that's
Okay, here we
It
go.
hit Summers 2020
Really?
for the 5th Indiana Jones.
What?
It's kind of crazy.
Are you smoking dope?
Maybe. So it looks like on Disney Plus, Ewan McGregor will be coming out in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Obi-Wan. Forgot about that one.
A new season of Clone Wars is coming out.
Oh, that's the cartoon.
Hmm
I have not heard.
There's gonna be a
New Mutants comes out
yeah.
in April.
There's gonna be a K2SO and
Black
Cassian
Widow.
Andor.
Black Widow comes out. Are you smoking dope? In May.
Yeah, I'm talking about Star Wars stuff specifically.
I'm just talking about Disney. I didn't think there was a lot of Disney stuff, but okay, Star Wars.
So the K2SO and Cassian Andor, they're characters from Rogue One. They have a show that's coming out on Disney Plus.
Is that going to be a cartoon?
No, it'll probably be a
Live
live action show. So it looks like there's going to be and no, that's Clone Wars. Yeah, it looks like there's going to be, after a 3-year break, Star Wars will return to theaters in 2022.
Oh wow.
That's coming out on Disney Plus.
Is that going to be a?
It's unclear who will helm the films. So it looks like there's, and it doesn't say what it's going to be about. So, but yeah, the Obi-Wan show, more Mandalorian, I assume.
So a lot more stuff than I thought.
Clone Wars and Rogue One, like a Rogue One prequel. So
That was a really good movie.
that is
I'm excited for it.
great movie.
It was a really good movie.
Honestly, of all the Star Wars movies that have come out since Disney kind of took over them, I think Rogue One is my favorite one still.
It was a really good one.
This one's a close second, but Rogue One is a fucking great movie.
Untitled Indiana Jones movie 2021.
So not too far off.
Not too bad. I have heard fucking nothing
Zero
about this
about that.
movie.
Yeah. Maybe we save talking about that for the last bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I love this movie.
So did I. This
So,
gets a massive thumbs up. This gets a 9 out of 9, 10 out of 10 for me.
I'm figuring Gabe and Gabe. I keep doing that. Doyle and Tim gave it a thumbs up.
Doyle probably gave it a thumbs.
Indiana Jones will be 22.
So Doyle talks.
I was like, I don't know what that means.
Tim,
It's too far from the mic.
I'm sure Tim, yeah. Doyle gives it a.
I love this movie.
Oh man, but I loved it. I love this movie. I can't wait to see what more Star Wars stuff is like.
I'm in.
Now I need to get my son to read the books because I think he'll fucking love them.
Probably. He likes everything.
He does. He's pretty cool. Also happy 16th birthday.
2
I'm sure Tim
weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Oh, why thank you, my lovely wife.
Okay, so on yours,
Yes, please. Dang, that was
It smells burnt.
it's the broiler.
Oh man, but I loved it.
Oh.
I love this.
Alright, let's get at it.
Anyway, with that said, find us all our social medias, www.totlb.com. Go to totlb.com/shop to pick up our new boudoir calendar or anything else that you want there, like glasses, shirts, all sorts of cool stuff. And of course, find us on Patreon at patreon.com/totlb, where you can support the show and get free stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. With that said, I've been Gabe.
I'm on.
And this has been a very Star Wars episode of Thinking Outside the Long Box.
F the haters.
Okay, if you want pickles on it.
Yes, please.
The robots in all these shows have been fucking amazing.
I like the little one. Hello. No, thank you.
Come on.
This has been all right. Twitch, YouTube. We will talk to you later. We're going to Facebook now for our live interaction episode. Feel free to join us there. Facebook.com/Thinking Outside the Long Box. Oh yeah, I guess we could just do both, huh? Never mind. We're gonna stay here, Twitch and YouTube. Next up, interaction. Talk to us about whatever. I like the little one. Hello. That's it. All right, Twitch, YouTube. We will talk to you later. We're going to Facebook now for our live interaction episode. Feel free to join us there. Facebook. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, I guess we could just do both, huh? Never mind. We're gonna stay here, Twitch and YouTube. Next up, interaction. Talk to us about whatever. That's it. Twitch, YouTube. We will talk to you later. We're going to Facebook now for our live interaction episode. Feel free to join us.
Thank you, my lovely wife.
Thank you so much.
Let's turn this some bitch on. We caught ourselves up.
What's that?
We caught ourselves up
How do you mean?
on time.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
I was watching somebody yell at John on time
Somebody yell at John? Yeah.
through Facebook Messenger.
Why?
I don't know. So they told him to come pick up his pool or something. He's like, every time I talk to you guys, they're rude. I've been a really good customer of you guys. I don't even think you guys care.
Seems weird.
Yeah.
Definitely not how I would think of them.
Side note, I tried to pick your pool up the other day. I was told that it was not ready. So I was like, oh, I don't know what that means, but alright.
Okay then. That's terrifying.
Every time I talk to you guys, they're rude. I've been a really good customer of you guys. I don't even think you guys care. Yeah. I saw you got a weird review too.
What's that?
I saw he got a weird review too. Side note, I tried to pick
Oh,
your
he
pool up
did?
the other day.
On,
I was told that it
Colin
was not
Gus's?
on Facebook. Yeah. I don't know what that means, but alright.
Oh, the same person.
I've been a really good customer of you guys. I don't even think you guys care. Connect. Do it later. Got that goddamn song stuck in my head. All right.
He's still sitting at 5 out of 5.
Yeah. I think you got wait. It's not a review. It's a recommend,
Oh, okay.
which should be in there as well. It's weird. Got that goddamn song stuck in my head. All right.
He's still sitting at 5 out of 5.
Yeah. I think you got wait. It's not
It's
a
crazy.
review. It's a recommend.
I don't see anything weird. Everything's
Which
just
should
great
be
shot,
in
great
there.
shot, great shot. So
Well,
that's cool.
you're wrong.
No, I'm sure there's something in there.
It's weird. Yep. Facebook. Continue. All of a sudden having to respond to everything.
Do. I don't see anything weird. Everything's just great shot, great shot, great shot. So that's cool. No, I'm sure there's something in there.
Let's do an intro first.
Yeah.
I'll have you go back.
174, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's weird.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 174 of Thinking Outside the Long Box with Juan and Gabe. We're going to talk to you about what you want to talk about, but not what Tim and Doyle want to talk about, because they're not here.
Who knows? He'll be here either.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we'll find out.
Oh, sloppy joes are so fucking good.
Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe. Episode 174 of Thinking Outside the Long Box
Still
with
great.
Juan and Gabe. We're going to talk to you about what you want.
And we're live.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 174 of Thinking Outside the Long Box. This is the fan interaction episode. I'm Gabe.
I'm on. I'm seeing how bad the lag is, and it's actually not that bad.
Nice.
Oh,
Try to pull it up right now so I can.
Oh God, you're gonna Doyle it, aren't you?
No, I'm not going to do it. I want to watch the comments too. Still great. Oh no, I better not start a watch party.
No, do it. I like to. And we're live.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still the best. Start. It's the best. This is the fan interaction. There we go.
Seeing how bad the lag is, and it's actually not that bad.
Try to pull it up right now so I can.
Oh God, you're gonna Doyle it, aren't you?
No, I'm not going to. That's fine. I want to watch the comments too. Oh no, I better not start a watch party.
No, do it. I like to make fun of you for it.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's the best when I do it.
Start. It's the best. What's up? There we go. Why I muted my computer like half an hour ago so that I wouldn't accidentally Doyle
I
it.
just did. Alright, son of a bitch. There's 8 people watching.
No, just funny.
Hey, everybody. Sorry, we were getting all the settings and all that stuff.
Oh man, these are really good.
So, we are listener interactive.
What are we on 174?
You're right, Possum. I don't want to hear you.
Amy, we hate you.
Because you muted it?
Yeah, because it's on mute. Yeah.
Hey, Chris,
They're
how much
really
you like
good.
our fucking-
Just kidding, Amy. I don't hate you.
We started!
Well, everybody.
There's 8 people watching. Hey, everybody. Sorry, we were getting all the settings and all that stuff kind of down pat. So we are listener interacting right now.
You're right,
So
Possum. I
last
don't
week
want to hear you.
we have talked about the Witcher.
Because you muted him?
Yeah,
Is that what he
because
said?
it's on mute. Yeah.
Hey, Chris, how about you like our fucking feed?
That was great.
We started! Woo!
Well, everybody.
I think Chris Fossett does like our page, actually. Yeah. There's 10 people listening, 12 people. The numbers are climbing.
So, last 3 episodes we have talked about The Witcher, Star Wars, Rise of the Skywalker, and quite possibly the most boring movie ever made last week.
That's not true. It's not.
Somebody's gonna be like, you guys are racist.
I hope not. That'd be really awesome.
I don't hate it because there's Indians in it. I hate it because there's no action in it.
Because it goes this fast.
And we're down to 4.
So, in all seriousness, feel free to bring up whatever you want to talk about. Either on my watch party, over there, in our YouTube, or
Stupid watch party.
There's all sorts of places that you could be watching right now.
Right on the logo.
Oh,
That's
shit.
the best
I
part.
accidentally went full zoom in on Gabe's tits.
They're nice ones, though.
Mobius?
I should have been in them.
It was really weird.
So, let's
You
start.
should not have been in the
Let's start with the obvious. I'm pretty excited for
Oh, there it is.
the movie. Oh, right on the logo too. That's the best part.
What are we starting with?
Morbius,
Mobius?
not Mobius.
Who's Mobius?
Mobius is a comic book artist from France.
Oh, okay. Alright, maybe he was cool.
He was very cool. I love his stuff. But Morbius
Morbius.
looks really good.
Yes.
Jared Leto
Does it? I tag you in shit that I want you to interact with, and I'm always like, I wonder what he feels about this thing that we've kind of talked about before, and you fucking never interact.
I think I go out of my way to like it when you tag me. So
We'll see.
I just try not to like it at the show because then I feel really.
Then
bad.
I gotta unfucking like it. It's annoying.
Yeah, I know.
Morbius came out yesterday.
Trailer looks great.
Tyrese was the one to say that it was coming out, and I was like,
Which was weird.
who is Tyrese in this movie?
Yeah.
And apparently he's an FBI agent. I don't know if because he has a name, so I don't know if that has a I can't remember.
Oh,
If
I didn't
it's been so long since I watched Spider-Man, especially because Morbius is not. I mean, he's a big arc in the cartoon, but you obviously move on to like thousands of other villains as well. So I can't remember
Spider-Man does have a lot of villains.
a ton.
And like Morbius is kind of like an anti-hero type villain,
Yes.
where he ends up, obviously he has his own comic, he has his own storyline, all that sort of stuff.
It's been
The way he dresses, it is pretty amazing, Chris. The way he dresses in it leads me to believe that they might lean a little heavier on the latest story arc of it, which isn't the best version of Morbius, but was really, really good. Like, I enjoyed it. I might be the only human being alive that enjoyed it, but that's okay.
He is Simon Stroud.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he's part of so you remember in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the whole Darkhold and Ghost Rider and
Yes.
like those kind of characters?
He's from Earth 616.
Stroud is one of those that like is in that kind of like dark timeline
Oh God.
of Marvel characters.
He's a white guy. That's all we're gonna hear about. Why did Tyrese? Why'd they pick this black guy to choose this white guy? So stupid.
Yeah, that's not what we're gonna do.
No, not us.
You don't care about
I
that
don't
crap.
I didn't know if he was somebody like in the universe or if he's just somebody.
No, he is. Like he's kind of an important-ish character, like a good side character.
I had no idea Jared Harris was in this movie. Like I for the most part, unless we do a really deep dive into the topic, which we haven't up until now, we don't really. I personally don't really look. I knew Jared Leto obviously was going to be in the movie, but I didn't look to see what the other people. Yeah. So as soon as I saw him and I heard his voice, I was like, oh fuck yeah, I like Jared Harris. Like he's doing a lot of stuff in the last like 3 years. I mean, I looked at his Wikipedia after I found it out. He's constantly doing stuff, but he's moved more towards like bigger projects just in the past like 4 years ish. I mean, he's always done big stuff. He was in the Boring of the Mohicans too, and so I mean he's always done like big stuff, but but he's been attached. He's been attached to some pretty big projects in the last like 3 or 4 years.
That's pretty cool. Like it's cool when we discover
like, obviously we're not discovering it and sharing it with the world, but personally, when we discover something that something is involving an actor that we really like and those sorts of things, like, I like that. I like being like, oh shit, this got that guy in it. I fucking love that guy, you know. So I'm excited for the Morbius movie. It looks really, really good.
I can't remember how does Morbius in the show. How does Morbius become Morbius? He has something wrong with him, right?
He has a disease, and the only way to cure the disease is through a serum that he has to mix with human blood, but it makes him thirst for human blood as well. So he is a living vampire. So
I liked Morbius. I thought it was cool.
It's a great storyline.
Yeah.
It's a really cool concept. It's genuinely one of my favorite comic book series from the 90s. I used to try to draw him all the time in his weird black leather suit.
A not usual villain choice, which is cool.
A really
cool.
off-kilter villain choice. Especially coming from because so in the trailer they branded it from the studio that brought you Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homecoming, and like this is being billed as like
and Venom.
But it's being billed as the second Spider-Man villain movie.
Right.
So they did Venom, now they're doing Morbius, and it'll be interesting to see if down the line, if they keep pulling it closer and closer until like something turns over, where Spider-Man is now having to interact with these characters that they built into. That's what I think they're working towards.
I love that Marvel is so good at bringing in. I mean, they're really good at your big characters. You know, Iron Man. Even though a lot of people think they did a disservice to him in his standalone movies, but I mean, Spider-Man is They did really good with Spider-Man. They do really good with characters that you've heard of, but you don't really know much about. They do a really good job of fleshing out very small side characters and villains, and I love that because it's not fucking, you know, it's not the same shit I've seen for 50 years.
Times. Yeah. Boston says that would be awesome for it to turn into like that kind of like
the world.
It rolls over into like a Spider-Man universe. Would love to see a Sinister 6 through 8.
They were trying. They were trying with the last guy. Fuck, zoomed in on my face. They were trying with the last guy.
Spider-Man Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, there you go. I never heard that before. At the end of his last movie, the cutscene at the very, very end is a bunch of pieces to the Sinister Six prop pieces, like their costumes, and so that was where they were going, and then they just decided to stop. I just saw it too. And they just decided to stop making those movies. So, but I like that they didn't choose Venom versus Spider-Man first. You know what I mean? They just did his own thing while Spider-Man was doing his own thing, you know, because we got to kind of learn about that. I like that, you know, maybe the next Venom sequel will be a Carnage part, which you got at the very end of Venom, but maybe that's just going to be its own movie as well. You know, it may not necessarily have Spider-Man in it, which is cool. Carnage, by far, is my favorite, and I don't know if it's just the way he looks and some of the cartoon, but he's my favorite Spider-Man villain. And being able to do something with him would be amazing for me.
And so another thing Fossum just said is it's like Guardians of the Galaxy, where they took something that wasn't super popular and made it cool. Carnage is like down the list of symbiotes, you know, and to be able to work that story in like a really creative way and make it entertaining and not necessarily have to lean on the character of Spider-Man is super smart. Like, it's a really, really good way to take things that maybe nobody else is looking at and make something really good.
Right. I love it.
Me too.
There was obviously a Spider-Man cameo in the trailer. But all the people who have kind of zoomed in and pieced it, the costume looks more like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man than it does current Spider-Man. And
Which they
so,
also hint at, because they have been hinting at a Spider-Verse
right.
that has all the three Spider-Men and then other Spider-Man.
Which would be really cool. If you could get all three of those Spider-Man into one movie, I think that'd be really cool.
If it's anywhere near as good as the cartoon was, I'd watch it twice.
And then obviously the big spoiler at the very end, which I guess is not really a spoiler because they haven't really said anything yet. But Michael Keaton is in this movie. Everybody assumes that he's gonna play Vulture, and that's another connective piece to the universe, which would be. It was like a whoa kind of moment, because you don't expect that stuff. That's not news, before these things come out.
And they haven't talked about it at all.
No.
And what I think is interesting is all the little pieces that point to we're going to pull this together. Not yet, but we're gonna pull it together. Like in Vulture would be that first step in the Sinister Six,
Man.
Or 9. There's been Sinister others, like Sinister 7, Sinister 8, Sinister 9.
I think Sinister 8 was its own comic book, not related to Spider-Man.
No,
I don't know. I could be wrong. I haven't read a comic book in a while, so.
I'm gonna look it up because I know that there's been.
Sinister. I mean, really, that first.
What quantifies
So Sinister 6, Sinister 7, Sinister 12.
I mean, you just said that Han Solo.
So there's been 6, 7, and 12. Okay.
I don't think you're right. I think that's
Sinister
bullshit.
12. That's
I call
over.
bullshit.
It's too many Sinisters.
There's a lot of Sinisters,
There's
bro.
a lot of Sinister.
What else happened? Oscars?
And are they all sinister? I mean, really?
I mean, what quantifies Sinister, being sinister?
I mean, I assume a little bit of.
I mean, you just said that Han Solo was essentially sinister.
Yeah.
I don't think you're right. I think that's bullshit. I call bullshit on that.
Because they gave him a little bit more time.
No, I enjoyed it. What else happened? Oscars? Oscars are coming up in
That's the thing.
I think a couple days.
You know what we should talk about?
Here's the thing: are they
About Ricky Gervais, huh?
Oh, at the Golden Globes.
Golden Globe. That was hilarious.
I like Ricky Gervais. I think he was better at previous Oscars. Because they gave previous Golden because they gave him a little bit more time. But I thought it was funny. I thought it was really funny.
It was super funny. It made a ton of people in the audience very uncomfortable.
Here's the thing: are they really uncomfortable, or are they know maybe the camera's gonna be on them, so they can't be like, yeah, freaking Ricky Gervais is right.
We all a bunch of pedophiles.
I mean, not everybody. Tom Hanks is not a pedophile.
You don't know.
I assume.
I assume too, but you don't know. He wasn't a show called Bosom Buddies.
Yeah, I don't put that on you, Tom Hanks.
Foster said it was funny.
It was funny. It made me laugh.
Watching it made me die.
I just like Ricky Gervais. I think he's hilarious. That's why I don't like The Office. I don't like Carell. I'd rather have Gervais than Carell. I do. I enjoy that one better than I like the other
So
one.
do I. So do most people that have seen it.
That's weird. Most people I talk to don't agree with that.
Oh, that's dumb. The British version is significantly funnier.
When are the Oscars?
My sister said that was funny shit too.
Your sister's funny.
She is. She cracks me up. And her face.
February 9th. So we got some time.
So
I enjoy that one better than
did the announcements for what was nominated?
Yes. So that's why I brought it up. Joker got nominated 11 times, which is the most out of anybody this year. It's a lot. Best Picture, Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Woman, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Marriage Story, Parasite, and 1917, which some of those I've never heard of before.
Parasite is the movie, it's like the sleeper movie that I really, really hope wins, even though it won't. It's a Korean movie made by the guy that made Mother and The Host. Fucking cool ass movie. Really, really dug it. Jojo Rabbit, haven't seen yet, but
Look funny.
looks amazing. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I still haven't managed to see.
It was tough. A lot of people, I haven't seen Joker either yet. A lot of people really liked Once Upon a Time. I don't think it was bad. It was just
It's very
slow.
Yeah, and that's kind of Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Which, for some reason, I don't mind in his movies because I know there's going to be something crazy.
But there's funny shit in
But
it.
in Last of the Mohicans, I mind it.
Actor in a leading role. Antonio Banderas, Pain and Glory, Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Adam Driver, Marriage Story, Joaquin Phoenix, Joker, Jonathan Pryce, Two Popes.
That movie was surprisingly good.
Two Popes?
Yeah. Mel was home on a Tuesday. And she just started watching it, and next thing I knew, I was like, oh, I'm really like enthralled by this movie about popes. Huh, fucking weird. It was good.
Actress?
I don't think it's true.
I haven't seen it, so I have no idea.
It kind of plays like the two popes being in like a weird bromance thing, but like it's a cool movie.
I'm only gonna try and go through.
Can there be two popes?
Yeah, there are currently two popes: the Pope Emeritus, who's retired, and the Pope.
Oh, he's not dead.
He's
That's
not
right.
dead,
That's
which
right.
is really weird.
Right.
He's the first Pope to retire in like 700 fucking years.
Fuck you guys, I'm out.
Pretty much. I'm wearing my red shoes somewhere else. Fuck this shit.
Actress in a leading role. I'm only gonna try and go through the headliners.
Yeah.
Cynthia Erivo for Harriet. Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story. Swarcy Ronan, Little Women. Renee Zellweger. I don't know how to say that.
No, I don't know how to say it.
Renee Zellweger, Judy, and Charlize Theron, Bombshell. I don't know any of those movies. Hey, Chelsea.
Somebody just laughing emoji that you're pronouncing.
Swarcy. I don't know those movies. Bombshell, Judy, Little Woman, Marriage Story, and Harriet.
I mean, I know what Little Women is.
No idea.
I don't know how to say that.
Director?
Yeah.
Which Little Women?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know anything about that.
I mean, it's a remake of Little Women. There's the book Little Women.
Oh.
For 1970.
Huh, all right.
Yeah. What's the other one? Marriage Story? I don't know shit about that movie.
Judy, Harriet, and Bombshell.
That would be absolutely bonkers.
No idea.
Me neither.
No idea.
Director, Scorsese for The Irishman, Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Bong Joon-ho for Parasite, Sam Mendes for 1917, and Todd Phillips for
I
Joker.
don't know if it's the first time.
God, what if he wins 11 Oscars?
That'd be nuts, dude. That would be absolutely bonkers.
Costume, sound mixing, animated short film.
Superhero /
These are important, Gabe, okay? They're just not as important as the other ones. That's all. That's the big ones.
Yeah.
That's the big ones.
I mean, it's
I wanted to bring it up because Joker, I don't know if it's the first time, but they made a really big deal about it getting 11 nods.
it's a pretty big deal. Like, I mean, are there really other superhero / like comic book films that are coming anywhere near close to that?
No. I don't even know if what other comic book movie got an Oscar nod.
Or Best Picture.
Oh shit, we're running low on batteries.
All of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Oscar snubs. Let's get some Oscar snubs.
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler, but he pretty much said he didn't give a fuck.
I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like most actors don't actually give a fuck. Like,
I feel like The Irishman is gonna win some shit though. I feel like that's aside from all the nonsense that came out of that, because Scorsese has whatever fucking opinions he's gonna have.
he's like a 90-year-old.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
He's allowed to not give a shit about Marvel movies. Like, calm down, people.
It's just another thing again. Like you're a very high professional in your field, and you're shitting on every. You know what I mean? Every person who decides to be in or make one of those movies. Like it's. I feel like that's fucked up. But
Yeah.
I mean, he's Scorsese. Like who's gonna say anything to Scorsese?
He's also like 1,000 years old. Like, when your granddad says bullshit, you don't like care because you're like, he's gonna die.
Wow. Jennifer Lopez got snubbed.
Bossom asked, would you consider the
But which one? Which one? Like Lord of
the King. Best Picture, Director, Adapted Screenplay, Original Score, Original Song.
So the first two didn't win any Oscars.
But the third one did.
Titanic won a bunch too.
Ah, fuck that movie. I hate that movie. I don't know why all the love for that movie. I don't get it. It's about a boat that sinks.
Walt Disney was the most Oscars won by one man.
With how many?
22.
22. But were they for? I wonder if they were for like properties that Disney made, or if they were somehow he was involved in the production or something of them. Has he ever been involved in production of his own movies?
Walt Disney?
Yeah.
I think so. I think he was like the executive producer on a lot of those movies.
3 films have won 11 Academy Awards. Ben-Hur from 1959, Titanic in 1997, and The Return of the King in 2003.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I would have never, Chris, I would have never thought Lord of the Rings was going to pull out 11 Oscar wins.
Fuck you, Fossum. Titanic is too a great science fiction film.
What?
No, he said Titanic, not even close to a fantasy, sci-fi, or comic book film.
Most nominations and largest sweep, Lord of the Rings. Most award, yeah, Walt Disney won 22. Yeah, it just says Walt Disney, so he probably won.
Probably as like director, producer, because
Yeah.
I know he directed a lot of the cartoon films and produced a lot of them too. So
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
Lupita Nyong'o. I don't know how to say her last name. I'm sorry. Lupita Nyong'o.
Just stop. We know who you're talking about.
Nicole Kidman. A lot of women got snubbed. That was a big deal this year.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. Robert De Niro. Eddie Murphy for Dolomite. I thought he would get some kind of nomination for Dolomite.
Dude,
that was a big return for
and
him.
that movie's great.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that movie was so good.
And it was a big deal. Adam Sandler for his, I don't even know what movie that is. Him in his yellow suit.
What is it called? It's called something Gems. It looks really, really good. I just can never remember the name of it.
Frozen 2 got snubbed.
Oh, no one gives a fuck.
A lot of people watched that movie, bro.
I know, but
Made a
nobody
lot
cares.
of money.
Nobody cares.
My daughter cares.
Frozen 2.
Jamie Foxx, William Dafoe, some of the big Christian Bale. What the hell did he do?
Christian
The
Bale was,
Fighter?
he was in movies this year?
Apparently.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What was William Dafoe in this year?
William Dafoe. Willem Dafoe. The Lighthouse.
Ooh, that I really want to see that. That's from the director of The Witch, and it suffered. I think it really suffered because it stars Robert Pattinson too. So a lot of people don't like to go see his movies because Twilight.
I think he's gonna do good at Batman.
I think he's gonna be a great actor once he gets past he's that dude who was in Twilight.
He comes off like a rich, fucking kind of snobby guy. like that's
yeah.
it's not a bad thing. I think he's gonna do fine.
If you're playing Bruce Wayne, it's not a bad
think he's
thing.
gonna do
If you're playing Life, it's pretty annoying.
But he's got $1 million. He doesn't care.
But he's got a lot more than $1 million. He got that Twilight money.
He does. He got that fucking vampire money.
Sparkly vampire.
Oh, my bad. All right.
Fossum says typecasting sucks. It does, but when you star in 4 sparkly vampire movies, it's bound to happen.
I can look past it. I don't care. You know, it's funny because when we had the very first conversation about Joker, when the only thing we knew is that Joaquin Phoenix was going to play Joker. I think pretty much all of us were like, that's the right guy. Like, it's the perfect choice for that.
Because
when the world was going,
crazy.
I don't think that's going to work. And here we are, 11 Oscar nominations later, you know, he fucking nailed it. I haven't watched it, full disclosure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can't, it's done well in the theaters, it's done well at award season.
It's done well critically.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really anybody that has seen it that doesn't like it. You know,
he's fucking weird. He's perfect.
That I'm Not Here movie is
the documentary thing that he did.
Sure, it's a documentary. Whatever the fuck that was, that movie
movie's bizarre and it's crazy and it's so good, and it's like a prequel to the Joker because it's like this dude that's just completely lost himself, and you're like, is this an act or is he fucking gone crazy? Like, and that's kind of what's happening in that movie too. I don't know. It's fascinating. I think my sister said vomit. I assume it's because of Robert Pattinson.
I think he's gonna do well.
I think he'll do good at Batman, but I mean, he's not my cup of tea in general.
I don't watch a ton of his movies.
He's got that weird face thing going.
His face, or is there something weird about it?
No, his face. It's like just weird to me. I don't know why. Like he's just got a weird fucking face.
For the last time, I'm gonna recommend that you go watch The Exorcist.
So you have ranted and raved so much about it. I think it should be an episode during our next recording session.
My only fear about that is that it's 3 years old.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
I see.
So good.
And you're like probably the fifth or sixth.
I know Doyle
person
said he really likes it too, because I was in the middle of, like I said a couple episodes ago, I was in the middle of watching that
and then
and The Witcher, and I was just like, I gotta watch The Exorcist. It's the first season almost wholly deals with and is essentially a
remake
sequel.
of the first film.
No, it's a sequel to the first film.
Oh, okay.
And the second one is completely different. I mean, it ties in some of the things that you get from the first season, but it's a whole new storyline. But they do. What's making you laugh over there?
Sorry, Anna said hashtag not my Batman. Pattinson can suck a chode.
Oh, wow. He
says
here. Take a picture of that, because in 2 years, that shit's gonna be amazing. She's gonna be like, I love you with Batman.
And then my sister said Zach was watching the whole time and just now realized that I'm Uncle Gabe, and that's really true.
But it's been a long time since I've seen a really, really good exorcism something.
Right.
You know, there's some good things. The Exorcism of Emily Rose was pretty
Fucking
good.
Great.
There are a lot of that genre seems to do okay, but this series, man, I was reading into it, and the biggest thing that happened is that it got acquired in the Disney merge. And so that Disney apparently didn't want to put out a fucking exorcism show, and so they just canceled it.
The Exorcism of Elsa.
But they do creepy.
The power of Christ compels you to let it go.
That's funny. That's funny. That's really funny. That's a T-shirt. We'll get sued for it, but that's a T-shirt.
That's a T-shirt. And it says, "No, I won't."
Yes, she will.
Gross.
She will.
Batman is my homie, and Edward Cullen is not him.
She's gonna be like, I loved it.
It's gonna be me and Gotham all over again.
The Exorcist. Its tempo is just, it gives you the chills without being scary. You know what I mean? Like it's creepy through the whole thing. And it's not necessarily like, holy shit, that was scary. Because I feel like American horror has relied on that for fucking way too long.
The jump scare.
Just hitting you like that. Whereas this show, and I might be overselling it because I love exorcism stuff, and I don't know why. I love exorcism stuff. So you're gonna watch it and be like,
2 things on the list: exorcism, time travel.
yes. Time traveling exorcism.
Holy shit! We just made a movie. Copyright. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh
funny.
Man.
It's good. Like I said, I might be overselling it because I really enjoyed it. Uh-oh, what happened?
My battery's running low.
We're almost done.
Oh, I know, but if my battery runs low, then we stop streaming 2 different places.
Oh shoot! Oh, Gabe's on the ground.
Keep talking to me about the Exorcist.
It's like the perfect mix of shit that's gonna make you creepy, and feel just gross and weird on the inside, and like skepticism of the church.
Right.
Like they don't talk a ton of religion, but you get essentially the demons have infiltrated the church.
Nice.
And so you get that like religious aspect as well as just crazy shit going on to these people who are possessed. It's just a really good show. It's really well done.
Nice.
Really well done. And I've talked about it for 3 episodes now, and I promise that's the last time.
No, because
Until
it's gonna be an episode. It's gonna be an episode next recording session.
I know that Doyle agreed with me though, because I was like, man, I'm having a hard time getting through The Witcher, but the fucking Exorcist, I'm in.
So, going back a little bit, Mel says, "Hey, turds." Then Fossum said he will be better than Batfleck, which I didn't mind Ben Affleck
I didn't
as
really
Batman.
mind him either. I feel like he got the shaft by not getting his own movie.
Correct.
Because you didn't. They did it completely bass backwards.
Martha. Fuck that. Anyway,
They just did it completely backwards.
Anna said true with arrows pointing at Fossum's comment, and said, "Ugh, I hated Ben as Bruce."
I don't think I hated him. I think he would. I think he's another good choice to play kind of a shitty, snobby, rich dude.
I do too.
He just didn't. He had to share the screen with somebody else, and I just don't think that that's a good mix for his first movie.
And Martha.
And Martha.
And then
Martha.
And then Mel said, "I think Juan found his true calling, time traveling exorcist."
Hey, that's the shit.
Fucking
I'm
sold.
I'm writing a script. I don't
Dude,
even know how
I'll
to
be
write
your
a script.
sidekick.
Yeah.
I'll be your sidekick. Like, I just want to hang out and be like, "Damn, there's some demons." I'm high as fuck.
Exercise them. Yeah.
Yeah, get it, Juan.
I don't even know how to write a script, but I'm in.
Let's time travel the fuck out of here.
You could be the Pope, time traveling through time, exercising people.
This shit writes
Oh,
itself.
buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy. The power of Christ compels in any time. Just saying.
Chris wants to know where you are watching The Exorcist.
I think I am 2 episodes from the 2nd season finale.
No. Like, are you watching it on Netflix or Hulu, or is it through DirecTV?
I am watching it on perfectly legal channels.
Yeah, okay. So all of us will be watching it on very legal and easily obtainable channels.
What you really wanted to ask is, hey Juan, can you look up where you could find The Exorcist?
My sister recommended Carnival Row. Now, we actually got to interact a little bit with Carnival Row at San Diego Comic-Con, which was a lot of fun. I've seen the first 2 episodes of it, and I actually really liked it. And
Yeah,
I don't really
I
know
watched
why
it. It was pretty good.
I didn't go back to it.
I thought you watched the
No,
first
I
season.
really only got through the first 2 episodes, I think. I dug it.
Now I need my battery. My charger.
I definitely should probably keep watching it because it is that kind of fun high fantasy that I really like. And fuck, man, Orlando Bloom is a way better actor than people give him credit for.
And he's sexy.
That does not hurt. He is
a beautiful
extra
human being.
easy on the eyes. Chelsea says Juan and Gabe saved the souls.
Yes. Yes.
It's gotta be called Juan and Gabe Strike Back. I'm just saying.
Hulu, it says here, as of December 2018, is streaming the entire Exorcist series.
Nice, on Hulu. Fossum agreed that Carnival Row is great. Maybe we do an episode on that.
I think we did.
I know, but maybe actually.
I feel like I thought I watched the whole thing. Yeah,
the whole thing.
I think so.
So yeah, I'll just go back.
Because we did. I think we did it right after San Diego.
Oh, that's why. Because I got all caught up in other episodes.
Yeah, and now you're not doing anything related to TOTOB, so maybe you can have time to watch it.
That's not true.
Except for this at this point in time.
I'm doing something right now. Oh man, these comments are blowing up. Mel and Alicia are kissing at each other. Fossum says there is a lot of sexiness in Carnival Row.
A lot of Orlando Bloom ass. That seems to be the trait in every guy naked scene is
Guy
ass.
ass, yeah. Mel says we should calm down and asked if I needed a towel. And then Fossum says fuck Hulu. So I guess he's not watching The Exorcist
all
with
right.
us.
I don't know what that means. Let me try another venue then.
Again, there are perfectly legally obtainable ones. So this is a great fan interaction point. Chelsea messaged me when I was high out of my mind one night and made a really great suggestion for something that we could do for like the shop and the Patreon page.
I think she probably told me the same thing.
A Thinking Outside the Long Box cookbook.
Oh, she did not tell me that.
So she suggested that we make a cookbook that's like Gabe well done stoner snacks for people that's, you know,
that takes a lot of work for people to not buy it.
You know, that's something I think I'm willing to undertake. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that'd be a lot
I
of
think
fun.
that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'll get to work on it.
The problem is most of my recipes I steal from other people.
Yeah, they don't even know that. My sister says the flying sex is amazing. I assume she's talking about Carnival Row. Yeah.
Carnival Row. It was a good show. I enjoyed it.
Mel's just laughing at the cookbook idea.
That's good.
I think it's a great idea.
Any kind of my as it always has been, is we have a good listener base for people who aren't famous, who are just two to four idiots.
Yeah.
You know, but not a ton of interaction a lot of the time. Not a
interacting
today.
right
No.
now.
I'm saying in general. You know, we don't usually get a lot of you know.
So Chelsea was saying, you know, it should be full of stoner snacks, whatever. And Mel's response that night was, I don't know how to make Cheetos.
That's funny. I'm also not a stoner.
Well,
I'm just a fat guy.
You like snacks. That's all that
You
matters.
know what's funny?
Liking snacks.
You know what's funny is that if you listen to Devin and Taylor, they will tell you that and Tom, who I don't know if you ever met.
I met him.
Is that I'm a closet stoner, is what I've been told, because I like everything that stoners like.
You just don't smoke weed. Man. Okay, so I've done my friends excursion where I like friended like all these thousands of people, and every once in a while I get people that are just now accepting the friend request. Right. So this is one of these guys, and he finally accepted, and in like the last like hour he's responded, "Hi, you don't want to reply to me? Hi." I'm like, yeah, bye, dude. Like,
that's really
definitely
weird.
not how you interact with people, man.
Fuck you too, then, bastard.
Be like, come on the watch party and talk to us.
Yeah, I'm in for that.
He's gonna, I guarantee, he just suggested I like some federal grants Facebook page, which means he's just gonna spam the shit out of me with like some bullshit ad. No, mine's not bullshit. It's something I actually do.
I didn't say it was bullshit. I just said it was kind of spammy. That's all. A lot of people like spam, though.
It wasn't spammy.
Some people like spam.
I straight up was honest. You're gonna get a request for like my podcast, and that's it.
No, here's the thing. Going back to Chelsea, I like to put my name, our name, on everything we can that I think is cool, that I think is unique, different maybe, even if it's not different. I just would like some more support from our community. That's all. And it doesn't even have to be buying things. I like this. This is what I love. Interactions, when we post something, fuck, your article sucked. That's fine. Thank you. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
Saying something.
Yeah. Let us know what you feel. That's all.
I think we're going to end up focusing more, because you and I were talking about, you know, the stuff that Facebook had sent us on making short videos, like online.
3-minute videos.
3-minute videos.
They're minimum.
My sister says that Billy, who's my brother-in-law, wants snickerdoodle pot cookies. That's easy enough.
I don't like snickerdoodle.
Mel is reminding me that friending all those people was a stupid idea. And
there she is.
And Fossum says, cookies.
I only say cookies to one cookie, and then I'm like, fuck, I need Cheetos.
You're like, cookie.
Yeah.
And then
Cheetos.
And then he posted a gif of someone spray painting. I don't understand what that is. Look at it. What does this mean? That's some white people shit.
I can't see it. It's dark. It's too dark, bro. Is that somebody in a... Oh, yeah, in a spray painting mask. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever you're hinting at, Fossum, I don't fucking
White
get.
people are weird.
That's why I'm half weird. So, yeah, I guess I'm gonna start working on a cookbook.
I'm 100% down for that. I smoke a lot of stuff. Like, I'm in. If it's just snacks that like stoners can do with the bullshit that's in their house, like I can't help you with that. I have like Mel. I don't know how to make that Cheetos. Or Funyuns.
No, I'm not gonna teach you how to make Cheetos. I'm gonna teach you how to make something with Cheetos.
Could you make Cheetos on your own and just not call them Cheetos? You could, right?
Yeah, I mean it'd be hard
by trying to use their formula, their ingredients.
Yeah, you could figure it out. I mean, it'd be weird. They're just like little fried dough strips, so that are like fried hard.
Maybe, yeah, they are. Maybe we make
real hard.
Maybe we make a cookbook full of our knockoffs.
That'd be pretty funny. Yeah.
No, I'm in. I'm whatever. I like Chelsea because she has cool ideas.
Fossum said he was tagging a name.
Oh.
Whatever. Fuck off, Foss.
Wow.
He knows.
So much anger.
My sister says, not in Missouri, making pot cookies isn't as easy there. I was like, just ask Brian. Brian make you goddamn pot cookies.
I'm pretty sure it's easy.
It is. It's easy. It's just finding the pot, which, they love, laws and stuff.
Yeah, but you're in Missouri. There's probably a field you could grow it in somewhere.
I know. Just saying, my sister and my brother-in-law are upstanding humans.
Oh.
Whereas the rest of us are.
The one that are asking for the pot brownies?
Yeah.
Or the pot cookies?
Yeah.
Oh.
The rest of us, though, are godless heathens. So.
Except for your mom.
No, my mom's wonderful.
Yeah, she's amazing. I don't know you, mother of Gabe.
But she is right.
I can't imagine I can imagine you're 100% better than Gabe.
At least 100%. Awesome says he loves me too.
Well, you have to go pick up your lovely daughter here soon.
I do.
So let's get you out of here.
Okay. So let's end the episode on one very important thing. Alicia, these sloppy joes were fucking amazing. Thank you.
I haven't gotten to the second one yet.
Oh my god, they were so good.
Good. That's going in the cookbook.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to be working on a cookbook. Morbius looks awesome.
Mobius.
Not Mobius. Mobius is awesome. French artist Mobius. Inkal, Yerwaski. Great stuff.
I'm sure we'll be talking about the Oscars when it happens.
I think we're going to watch Exorcist for an episode because Juan is really into it and it sounds really cool to me too. What else?
I think that's it, man.
We love the shit out of you guys. www.totob.com.
New interview came out today.
Oh, new interview out today. Awesome.
With nuclear power.
Yeah, can't say that word. Visit us.
Fucking AJ. He always comes in at the very end.
Oh, jeez.
He said, we're weird, 1000%. Why do I always come at the end of the show? That's amazing.
Oh, man. My sister laughed out loud, I assume, at our mom being 100% better than me.
Yeah,
so,
yes,
yeah.
100%.
With that said, www.totlb.com, totlb.com/shop, where you can pick up our pin-up calendar. Our pin-up calendar.
Oh, do you want to put it on live?
Yeah.
For Facebook? Here, I got you. Don't, just sit down. Just stay seated. Fucking fatty.
I know, right? You can see how fat we are on the thing.
There it is.
Where I went,
in all its glory.
Where I went rogue.
Hall of Justice has, I think, 3 of these.
Nice.
Either 2 or 3 of them for sale. Patreon supporters, Megan, Jason, Michael Young, Christine, I sent hers. But there are like 6, Chad, that I left at Hall of Justice as well.
Nice.
So
some people can pick them up.
While he's talking, I'll flip through this while he's ending the show.
So be sure to check us out, totlb.com/shop. Pick up this pinup calendar. I'm telling you right now, dude, it was a ton of fun to do, and a lot of fun was had. A lot of ladies had a really good time. So
it's worth the $15.
It is, for sure. So check that out. Also, visit us at patreon.com/totlb, where you can...
it is available online, AJ. Here, I'll put it in there.
where you can sign up and help us out. Through your support, you also get free stuff. Chelsea, one of our listeners and good friend who does all of our glassware, just said in my watch party, the calendar is awesome, by the way. She absolutely loved it. I know
her picture she sent me, because I'm trying to make a cool collage of the people who have gotten it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
And Albie, I know Albie loved it too.
Yeah.
He's told me. So.
He said he had a date with a calendar that night.
Gross.
Yeah.
That's gross.
I agree.
But anyway, my sister doesn't want to see me in pinup.
Well, he's not in the calendar.
I'm not in the calendar.
That's exactly why we didn't put him in.
Don't worry, Christina. It's just sexy ladies. So I don't know how you feel about your husband.
Buy it for a husband. It's not like he's having sex with these people.
I know. They live so far away. I'm just
Is
kidding.
the implication that
no,
I'm
not.
close?
There's no implication there.
Wow.
He loves the shit out of my sister.
Wow.
So, anyway, with that said, I've been Gabe.
I'm Juan.
And this has been the latest episode of
That's
Thinking
December.
Outside of the Long Box. We will see you guys shortly. Be sure to check out our podcast on Twitter, or not Twitter, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, literally anywhere where you can find a podcast. And of course, you can watch our videos on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all those different places. So find us. Bye.
Bye, everybody. I think we had like 17 people watching there at the end.
We had quite a few people interacting too. Where'd it go?
Let it go?
No, I'm looking for, there it is. And where's the stream? Looks like we had 2 viewers on Twitch and 2 on YouTube, so.
Nice.